On Thai PBS World Tonight, amid rumors of internal conflicts within the government, former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra claims that there won't be a cabinet reshuffle anytime soon. Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs expresses disappointment that 4 Thai fishermen detained in Myanmar were not among 151 Thai prisoners released on Saturday. And the year 2025 will still be economically challenging for Thailand due to Trump's declared policies. And good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nat Bunna.
I'm Frank Kanchi.
Well, Happy New Year to you once again. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the New Year holidays. How about you?
Yeah, I think everyone has a lot of good moments during the New Year Eve. And right now we set our foot into 2025. A lot of stories that we have to talk about.
Exactly. So we'll begin the new year and the program tonight with what has been happening in Thai politics. So you may have been aware about the rumors about the conflicts among coalition partners of the Pathongtan government, including possible cabinet reshuffles. But to silence these rumors, Thaksin Shinawatra mentioned during a campaign rally up north that there won't be a reshuffle anytime soon. So former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has offered an assurance that there will not be a cabinet reshuffle in the foreseeable future, as he dismissed speculation that Energy Minister Pirapan Salirathavipak, also leader of the United Thai Nation Party, may be removed from the post. He said that he has known Pirapan for a very long time, adding that he is a hard-working man. He also said that there are no reasons why the current government should not complete its term. The former Prime Minister is currently in Chiang Rai to campaign for the Pheu Thai Party's candidate in the mayoral election to be held in February. Meanwhile, he also told the audience that people who are over 60 years old will receive the 10,000 baht financial help under the digital wallet scheme on January 29th, as he told them of his determination to revive the economy, to improve the lives of the people, and to explore means of enabling people to earn more. Thaksin also claimed that the economic system for which he advocated about 2 decades ago has gone or has been abandoned, adding that following his return home after his long self-imposed exile abroad, he intends to revive the economy, especially with the grassroots economy, by promoting handicrafts, skills development, and agriculture. He promised to slash the price of electricity as well to about 3.7 baht per unit and to reduce public debt within the next 2 years. While being the father of the current Thai Prime Minister Pathongtan Shinawatra, Thaksin has no official role in the country's administration, but it is widely perceived as the unofficial but de facto leader of the ruling Pheu Thai Party. And even though he says that there won't be any changes to the Pathongtan cabinet at the moment, but you can see that he has been very active in terms of promoting the economic policies, whether it's the digital wallet scheme or slashing the electricity prices for the people.
So Thaksin actually causes controversy in political sphere. Of course, he talks about economic policy and right now political term too. So that controversy really causes impact to Pheu Thai Party and the Thailand's political sphere there. Of course, some people question about his health condition because right now, of course, he's facing one of the legal case about health condition there. And another one is about Pathongtan's ability because people say that Thaksin actually is the person behind the curtain to control Pathongtan Shinawatра's government because at this time, in this news story, we know that, of course, he has no official role in the parliament, in the government, in Pheu Thai Party too. But he talks about the electricity policy, talk about public debt. Oh, this is Pathongtan has to deal with immediately.
Actually, these are the things that Pathongtan has to address for herself, or at least the finance minister has to address it, or the energy minister. But like you said, Frank, with Thaksin being so active in campaign rallies, talking about the economic policies, hence the nickname, the Daddy's Government, that was actually named by the Thai Press Corps at the end of 2024. So people are perceiving this government as if Thaksin is dominating the Pheu Thai-led government at the moment. And possibly the prime minister as well.
And how would that last? I mean, this situation, because of course, Paetongtarn right now is the prime minister. She needs to has her dominant figure there, but right now people still questioning about Thaksin's figure or Thaksin's role in this government. It's very important because we might see some backfire very soon.
But there is still some time, though, for Paetongtarn to prove herself as the Prime Minister of Thailand, because we have to keep in mind, though, that she has only been in office for about 3 to 4 months. So there's still like at least 2 years left for her to prove herself, her ability to lead the country, as well as executing the policies that were delivered to Parliament when she took office. And now let's move on to another big issue. So recently, over 100 of Thais were released from Myanmar prison on Saturday, in which we actually witnessed an emotional reunion between those Thais and their families. But unfortunately, the 4 Thai fishermen who were detained for invading Myanmar waters were not released. So a group of 151 Thai nationals were among 5,000 prisoners released from prisons in Myanmar on Saturday on the occasion of the 77th anniversary of the country's independence. However, 4 Thai fishermen who were arrested by Myanmar's Navy on November 30th and were sentenced to between 4 and 6 years in prison for illegally entering and fishing in Myanmar waters of Ranong province are yet to be released. Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs made an announcement yesterday regarding the release of the Thai prisoners. While the ministry expresses gratitude to Myanmar for the release of the Thai prisoners, they were quite disappointed that the 4 Thai fishermen were not released. Therefore, the ministry is urging Myanmar authorities to release the 4 Thai fishermen as soon as possible. They also stated that the ministry, including the Royal Thai Embassy in Yangon and relevant authorities, have been continuously following up on the release of the 4 Thai fishermen, as well as assisting the families of the fishermen to contact and visit these people in Myanmar. And the 151 Thais who were released on Saturday were arrested early last year when Myanmar authorities cracked down on call centers and online gambling networks in Tha Thi Lek Township opposite Masai district of Chiang Rai province. So we hope that the 4 Thai fishermen will be released as soon as possible. But speaking of the Thais who were released on Saturday, about 151 of them, that was actually a very emotional reunion between the Thais and the families, because imagine having to be in prison for so many years and not knowing their whereabouts of these people. That would be very heartbreaking for the families.
And it would be very disappointing too, because of course those families, they see their family members coming out from Myanmar's prison, because it's very difficult to contact them, I would believe that. And this would be a pretty good news for Thailand and Myanmar in terms of international relations. But there are still 4 fishermen that still in Myanmar's prison.
But we also have to keep in mind, though, in terms of trying to release the 4 Thai fishermen, it came from the issue of invading Myanmar waters. So all of the authorities agree that it is a very difficult and sensitive issue. So in terms of the diplomacy, trying to negotiate how they will release it, that would be a very tough one.
And it takes time, because trespassing to a nation's territory is a very, very difficult job to deal with too. So, of course, I think Thailand and Myanmar right now, they are still dealing with how to solve this case of 4 fishermen in Myanmar's prison. So we will have to see how the MOFA, or of course the high up in government, to take up with. Another story we have to talk about, of course, working overseas maybe is one of the ways for those Thai families, poor families, to get high income. The most popular countries for Thai labor workers, including Taiwan, including the United States and Australia, will be their first priority to work there. But who would ever think that their dreams to work there turn out to be a scam and nightmare? Thailand's Department of Employment has ordered an investigation into an employment scam in which 250 men and women were duped into paying between 60,000 and 120,000 baht for non-existent farm jobs in Australia. The job seekers, mostly from Buriram, Nakhon Ratchasima, and other provinces, showed up at Suvarnabhumi International Airport in Bangkok, expecting to fly to Australia. They were told by airline staff, however, that there were no booking for them. The employment broker, identified as Ms. Oi, didn't show up at the airport. The job seekers then went to the police station at the airport to file complaints against Ms. Oi, who eventually reported to the police station to acknowledge the complaints against her. Nonetheless, she claimed to be just a broker who had been promised 2,000 baht for each of the job seekers she managed to recruit. She also claimed that the advance payments had been transferred to another woman identified as Ms. Fa, who is believed to be a representative of an employment agency. The Director General of the Department of Employment told the media that he is sure that the job seekers were duped, because there is no official record that the employment agency in question has a permit to send Thais to work abroad. He added that his officials have been interviewing all the job seekers to gather information for use against the real scammers, who, if found guilty, will face suspension or revocation of his operating license if it has one. He also said that the 5 million baht, which is kept at the department as a surety, will be confiscated and distributed to the victims. He also revealed that there are currently no job opening in the farm sector for foreign workers in Australia, adding that applicants must go through language proficiency and skills test before being allowed to work there. So, of course, all duped job seekers have been advised to file complaints with the Crime Suppression Division, because the CSD is better equipped to deal with such a case involving so many victims. So, of course, you can see that picture, and on the screen right now, so many people, they have dreamed to work in Australia, but finally they were scammed.
It is really unfortunate indeed. But just to explain a bit further as to why these people end up being duped, there are a few possibilities, because they may have seen advertisements on Facebook or possibly line group chats saying that they are promised with a job in Australia. So for these people, working abroad would be the only way to earn high income and to make ends meet for the entire family. But in one perspective, at least they didn't go to Australia, because they can still file a complaint to the police, because there have been even more distressing cases where they were lured into working to other countries and end up in illicit crimes such as prostitution or even great businesses.
Yeah, and the minimum wage there you talk about, actually, as in northeastern country here, maybe they just get daily minimum wage around 350 to 370 after an increase there already. But as what you said, right now, maybe this is good news for them, because they still can file a complaint in the country and they are protected in the country, rather than they are already in an overseas country and they do not know how to help themselves.
Exactly. So hopefully they will get the justice that they deserve. And now let's talk about Thailand's economy. Even though Thailand, it seems to be recovering during the last quarter of the year, but they will see more challenges ahead of them, especially with exports, because US President Donald Trump has vowed to impose tariffs on foreign goods as well. So this might put more pressure on the exports and also businesses as well. So according to Dr. Girida Paupichit, the research director for international economics and development policy at TDRI, Thailand's economy will face more challenges and uncertainties this year due to an intensified trade policy policy by the incoming Trump administration against countries which enjoy substantial trade surpluses with the U.S., and that also includes Thailand. She also explains that Trump's Make America Great Again trade policies will cause a global economic slowdown, which will impact Thai exports to the U.S. market, as well as markets in Japan and the EU, because the economic growth of these countries will slow down, and Thailand's export growth this year may register 1 to 2% compared to last year, which they saw 4 to 5% export growth. Thailand may also see increased tariffs on products exported to the United States, or be forced to buy more U.S.-made products such as pork from pigs fed with leanness-enhancing agents, which are prohibited in Thailand, adding that this will adversely affect Thai pig farmers. Dr. Girida said that China will be the most affected by Trump's trade measures, will try to find alternative markets, including Thailand, for its surplus products such as petrochemicals, steel, plastics, and garments. She said that there are, however, both positive and negative impacts from increased Chinese goods flooding the Thai market, adding that Thai industries reliant on imported raw materials and machinery may benefit from this trend. And another positive effect is that investors from China or other countries which become hard hit by new trade sanctions may relocate their production bases to Thailand to avoid the full impact of the new tariffs, adding, however, that this may put Thailand at risk of further restrictions from the U.S. administration. And since the new trade policies may last for the 4 years of the Trump administration, Dr. Girida recommended that the Thai government takes precautionary steps to cope with the potential impacts, as well as unpredictable crises such as the sudden oil price jumps, natural disasters, or another pandemic. She even said that the government must have sufficient reserves to cope with emergency situations, which in turn means that the government must spend its budget wisely and efficiently for sustainable development and not on short-term populist policies. So the key here is investing for sustainable development, not just short-term populist policies. And we have to accept that one thing, the Patong Than government and possibly from the Thai government as well, they have been promising people with populist policies more than policies that are related to sustainable development and economic development.
In 2024, actually, we had covered a lot of story about economic issues and uncertainties here. But what the government has really put on the table is short-term policy, no matter it's digital wallet scheme or those flooding relief measures. But what Dr. Girida here said is about trade. How about the trade policy here? Because actually Thailand has enjoyed the trade surplus with the United States over years. And right now, of course, Thailand, according to one U.S. international organization, there's a survey there. Thailand is on top of the chart that U.S. will put trade sanction on. Wow, this is very, very dangerous. And the second one is overcapacity in China. As last week, actually, we talked about that too. Chinese company, they have to find a new market to put their overcapacity of products in Thailand. Through those online marketplaces, Thailand's products have been impacted a lot. So geopolitical issues too, pandemic, wars in Middle East, or other new wars in Asia Pacific could cause the economic slowdown very fast. So what's Patong Than's measures here? Have you seen that, Ned?
Well, based on the policies that were delivered during the televised address late last year, we haven't seen much in terms of the economic development. But what we've seen so far is the flood reliefs, how they try to promote soft power, tackling illicit crimes, and we haven't seen much in terms of investment and economic development. So we'll have to wait and see.
And how about the competitions with other nations in the in ASEAN too, because other nations, they are catching up really fast.
Yep.
And how about Thailand? Not just tourism only, because it couldn't help us in terms of the regional competition there. Another story we have to talk about, because I think that would be good for borrowers in the country, as in the government housing bank has collaborated with the Bank of Thailand to help solve people's household debt problems through a debt relief project. The GHB has launched a new initiative to alleviate the debt burden facing individuals and businesses impacted by the current economic climate. This project aims to help both citizens and entrepreneurs recover and achieve long-term financial stability. A central pillar of the scheme recently approved by the cabinet is a temporary halving of the annual contributions banks make to the Financial Institutions Development Fund. Over the next 3 years, banks will contribute 0.23% of their deposits to the FIDF, down from the previous rate of 0.46%. This reduction is intended to free up capital, enabling banks to channel more resources into debt relief programs for their customers. The central bank, however, will review the policy annually to assess whether the reduced FIDF contribution should be maintained or reverted. Thailand continues to grapple with high levels of household debt, which combined with sluggish economic growth has eroded the ability of households and small to medium enterprises to service their debts, leaving them increasingly vulnerable. While Thailand's household debt to GDP ratio fell to 89.6% in the second quarter of 2024, it remains significantly higher than that of many neighboring countries. For example, in the first quarter of 2023, Thailand's ratio stood at 90.7%, compared to Malaysia just over 66%, China's 62%, Singapore's 48.4%. Though the latest debt relief measures seem comprehensive and may ease the burden for some, experts remain divided on their long-term impacts. A chief economist of a Thai financial group said these measures address the symptoms, not the root causes, and the fundamental issue is that people lack sufficient income. So of course we can see that people's income right now in Thailand, I think averagely is still under 20,000 baht here. It's pretty low when it compares to other countries there. So this measure will definitely help those borrowers. They can use this measure to relieve and create more cash in their cash flow there. But would that really help them to make ends meet?
And this will depend on the policy issued by the government as to how they will tackle household debt and improve the livelihoods of the Thai people as well.
So of course, in this story, you already can see that the high household debt decreases last year already to under 90%, but it's still high, very high compared to other countries. So the government, they have to create the cash flow in the market for people to spend and to help the country to revitalize the economy. But will this policy really work? Will this policy really be significant for the market? We need to see by the time.
Exactly. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ